Well, hello, Here we go. So, I just wanted to talk about Kingdom Hearts 2 a little bit. With Kingdom Hearts 3 just around the corner, I thought, I would go over some of my favorite parts about Kingdom Hearts 2's game design and just have a casual discussion about it. And meanwhile, we can watch some of my old stream that I have of it. First thing I want to talk about is the MP system. It's a very controversial thing. Here's how it works. So, you start with like a blue MP bar right here, and as you use magic, you decrease it. As you use cure, it will deplete entirely. So if you have 10 MP left, it'll use all 10. If you have their whole bar left, it'll use the whole bar. And then it goes into this purple stage, where it recharges at 2% per second, and that changes based on how many like MP haste abilities you have equipped. Which in this case I have quite a lot. It's recharging pretty quickly. Probably because it's critical mode and it's pretty late in the game. So, while it's purple, you can't use any MP. But then at the end, it'll refill, and now you can use MP again. And in this case, I'm using MP to do certain little abilities here. But you can also use magic. You can also use cure. So, a lot of people hate this system. Partly, I think, because it's not traditional. It's kind of strange that Cure takes the whole MP bar, regardless of how full it is. It just doesn't make much sense. But the reason why they did it was because in Kingdom Hearts 1, there was a first order optimal strategy where you would just, you just end up attacking. Attacking would refill your MP, and then it would take like 3 or 4 hits before you could cast Cure again, depending on the enemy, or how leveled up you are, maybe. And what that means is, while it's almost a good idea in theory, because attacking makes you play riskier, and that'll refill your MP. So whenever you have no MP, you need to attack in order to get some back. That's a good concept. But it's just too easy to cure in that game. So it makes you spam cure too much. And I think the developers in Kingdom Hearts 2 wanted to make sure that people didn't do that. So they created this system where is a little bit more complicated. You can only spam cure once, and then you have to wait around 50 seconds to, well, 18 to 50 seconds, depending on how many MP hastes you have, to cure again. And so that means you can get into sticky situations where, okay, now I just cured in this battle, for example, and I can't cure again, but here I am going for, attacking. It's risky, because if he hits me like he just did, I won't be able to cure. And it's definitely easy to run into situations where you could die here. And I'm playing on critical, so it's very easy. So, I mean, that's actually a good point about it, actually, I think. Some people criticize it because it makes people go run away from battle and just try to avoid taking damage. But to alleviate that problem, they have this ability called Drive Boost, which in this video I'm actually taking advantage of it. So, like, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to level up my drive forms. So, whenever your MP is in pink mode, recovery mode, recharging, your drive gauge is like energized. The more you attack, the more it refills. And so that's amazing. That's challenge layering straight up. Because what that means is, if you're if you want to level up your drive boost, which there's a very big incentive to, then you just run out of MP. So you can either use magic, a limit, or cure in order to do that. And now you have to play without being able to cure. And that's a very interesting concept, I think. Because when you play without being able to cure, this is another thing I want to talk about. We'll just save it here. When you have to play without being able to cure, you run into this, it's more challenging. And especially with Drive Boost, it makes it so that, now I really have to go in for the kill while I'm attacking. Or I have to attack, I have to be close to the enemy, I have to, really put myself in a risky situation while I don't have cure. And, that's caused me to die several times. But then, you know, you get into a drive form, which is a very juicy thing that we'll talk about a little bit later. And it's a good reward. And it's not too good of a reward, which is also another good point. It's not too much positive feedback. Sometimes with these like challenge layering, like risky situation things, like tech points in Kingdom Hearts 1. You know, people will get tech points that levels them up, which kind of makes it easier. Well, actually, it doesn't make it easier for them to do tech points in the future, because tech points are usually like skill based. But like you know, in like Final Fantasy X Overkill. Actually, a good example in Kingdom Hearts 2 is Exp Boost, which you know, let's just talk about it now. So Exp Boost is a system, is an ability that you can equip. And it's an ability where if you have less than half your HP, you will get double the XP. And it's stackable too, so you can use an ability like, or you can use a Keyblade like Gull Wings, and that will let you get like quadruple EXP if you have EXP boost on as well. So that's really good challenge layering, because I was often finding my time keeping myself at low HP on purpose, which means, you know, cure doesn't matter so much anymore. And then dying because I was keeping myself at low HP. But, you know, every now and then, it's fun because you get attacking enemies and stuff, and you know, you're more in a risky situation. There's more tension because of that. But the one little problem with it might be is that you start leveling up too fast, so the later you get in the game, the more leveled up you are, the harder it is to take advantage of EXP boost. Or no, the easier it is to take advantage of EXP boost, because, you know, whenever you're like level 90 and you're fighting level 50 enemies, you know, it's pretty easy to stay at half HP and just not die. So that's what I mean by positive feedback in challenge layering. It means that, you know, the more you do it, the easier it is to do. Whereas with the dry boost challenge layering, you know, our MP, we're out of MP. Now we go ahead and this isn't even playing any music. I just want to play music in the background. You know, we're out of MP. We're going in for the kill. We're using dry boost. Dry boost doesn't actually make it easier for us to do dry boost in the future, and that makes it so that, you know, throughout the game it's a whole challenge. You know, I mean, of course, the more you level up, the easier it gets, but that's a separate thing. Anyway, though, I wrote this blog post about some of the complaints with the MP system, which are very valid. You know, like people running around. Some people feel discouraged to use magic. I feel the opposite. I want to use my magic. Like I feel encouraged to use magic before you run out of MP, because I think I want to. I don't know. Whenever I use cure at a full MP bar, I feel like it's a waste. You know, I don't want to waste my MP. So I'd say, well, I'm gonna have to cure soon, so let me use my blizzards and fire and maybe reflect. And I'll go ahead and you know, I'll use up my MP, I'll save one left so that I can finally use Cure, and now that gets me using magic more, which is a good thing. Because people need to, you know, experiment around in Kingdom Hearts. And I'm actually going to talk about, and, you know, I really hope for Kingdom Hearts 3 they have a layer on top of the system to help encourage people to use magic and summons and limits and stuff, because that's one thing that Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 are both not great at. But I'm pretty sure they're going to have a system like that, because Birth by Sleep and Point 2 included like situation commands or something that caused you to be able to say, ooh, I'm going to experiment around a bit. So anyway, I love the MP system. If you want to learn more about it, this is a great blog post about it. Plugging my own thing. Anyway, let's talk about magic in general. I don't have a great thing. This is a great boss, which, you know, I don't really want to talk about magic too much, but we'll give it a go. So magic, The great thing about Magic in Kingdom Hearts 2 is that it has like these combo effects. You know, normally you combo abilities, and then Magic's just a separate thing. In Kingdom Hearts 2, you press, you know, Blizzard 3 times and it ends up comboing. So the third hit's stronger, and see, there you can see it too. And also it kind of mixes with the, you can like string it together with attacks too. And it just makes the whole battle system feel really fluid. Additionally, you have abilities like Reflect and Magnet, which are very high-skilled magic abilities, and I love Reflect, actually. I never used it before this playthrough. Notice how he's immune to physical attacks here. You can only use magic. That's why this boss is interesting, but I'll get to that in a sec. Yeah, so, you know, Reflect, you have to really try to time it right. I don't have any video lined up to show it. I probably use it somewhere in this one. But, you know, you might use Reflect in order to, you know, if you just use Reflect right at the right time, you get to bounce the enemy's attack back at them, kind of. It's really more like if they attack, you deal whatever damage they would have dealt to you, except for in like a circle radius around you. So it's a really powerful ability, and it's definitely for high-skilled players. You know, like you've seen like the Roxas battle and stuff. People would use it all the time. So I actually love Reflect, and it's something that, you know, it's hard for new players to use because it's one of those abilities that's like, I don't know, I can't just spam it, you know, unlike Blizzard and Fire and stuff. But it's good for high-skilled players because it's really useful. Really what I wanted to talk about with Magic's pretty much covered. You might like combine it with the MP system conversation and say, well, but I think I already pretty much said it and talked about that. So I'm going to move on to critical mode. Okay, critical mode. So I think critical mode was genius. And I have a blog post about how to design a hard mode. And I use critical mode as an example. Oops. So what happens in critical mode is normally when you think of a difficulty, you know, you think, okay, we gotta make the enemies do more damage, we gotta make battles take longer. In Proud mode, that's exactly what they do. Enemies do more damage to Sora. They also have more, I don't know if they have more HP, but the idea is that Sora doesn't actually do more damage. So battles end up taking longer in Proud mode. And that's the way they boosted difficulty. But in critical mode, what they did is they said, you know what, let's just increase damage for both Sora and Heartless and Nobody's enemies. So that makes it so that, okay, if I'm very skilled, I can go ahead and beat a battle really quickly because I do a damage boost. But if I get hit like 3 times, I'm dead. And that's a great system because it means that high-skilled players can stay in flow more. They can stay engaged. You know, if they're really high skilled, they can just zoom through the bosses. But until they find one that's challenging to them. But if you're not as skilled, you know, well, you're going to take your time a little bit more. You're going to have to plan your attacks better. But, you know, battles won't be outrageously long. So that's a great concept. And it's another great idea from that is, instead of like limiting your abilities, what they do is they give you abilities from the start. They're like, hey, we know you've already played the game, so how about we just, you know, give you these like great abilities to start the game with, and you can just equip them from the beginning. We'll give you 50 AP in order to do so. You won't even have to think about like making choices. Here's just all these great abilities. Like one of them is MP haste to go. So yeah, some great abilities there. And Lucky makes it easier for you to get drops and stuff to do synthesis, which is great. I don't want to spend too much time doing synthesis. And you know, that's a great reward in critical mode, I think. So they actually reward you for playing critical mode. And I'll just say this right now, in point 2, I was a little bit concerned because the critical mode there it hindered how much MP you had, which was a no-no. I could only cast 3 magic spells. So now that just like limits my abilities. And it just like punished me to play critical. Like, why would I do that whenever I can have more fun and play lower difficulty, you know? Because like the fun in that game isn't how hard it is, the fun is casting magic and stuff. Here, like they do start you out with less MP, and you do get less MP as you level up, but it's like 10% less. It's not like a third. Anyway, so that's basically why I think critical mode is something we should be aiming for in games. I'll have to add some images to this blog post, but I'll do that later. So drive forms, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. So drive forms, you know, they're great. You know, whenever I originally played Kingdom Hearts 2, I just like fell in love with it. I don't know, let's hope I use it in this battle. I feel like I'm probably going to use it soon. You know, he's got 5 of them in the final mix version. One is Valor form. It's combining with Goofy. You get 2 Keyblades. You know, of course, I'm like, it's amazing to just feel 2 Keyblades. The nice thing is it's also pretty easy to get. Like, especially with Drive Boost, you know, you're constantly getting Drive, and so it's nice to be able to use it in normal battles too, not just bosses. You know, a lot of times I used to like save it up for bosses, and I think a lot of people probably do because that's what they're used to. It's kind of annoying that Donald and Goofy have to be alive in order for you to use any of them besides Limit. But besides that, you know, it's a really great concept. Because it just feels so nice. And here's another point about it. It doesn't actually make the game easier, I'd say. It makes you play differently, each one of them. But especially Valor, Wisdom, and Master, I've died more while I've had them equipped, because they have trade-offs. Valor, you can't cure. Okay, but my attack power is higher, and I can do like unlimited combos, which is just really fun to play with. But it's risky too. And Valor form, you know, you can't attack. Like you can't do a normal attack and stuff. So it's also our Wisdom form. You know, here's Wisdom form. You know, it's really good for magic, and it's great that they like change how your magic works in your drive forms. You know, it's definitely nice seeing like final form just like completely you just Thundaga everything, and it's just beautiful. Like here, like Ice is so much stronger, and they even change the animation just to make you feel better about it. So another thing about drive forms is that it kind of acts as like an extra cure because it increases your MP, which, you know, I have mixed feelings about because I think it kind of ruins the whole MP system. It feels like an unintentional, you know, side effect. But I think I think it makes the game a little bit more fun too, because it allows you to play a little bit riskier when you don't have MP. You just have to go into drive form, and again, drive form doesn't make the game easier. It changes the way you play. So if you're skilled, it could make it easier. If you're not very skilled, it might make you die. So I love drive forms, and they're great to level up too. Here's the thing: each one levels up differently. Valor form levels up by hitting. Wisdom form levels up by killing Heartless. Final form levels up by killing nobodies. Limit form levels up by using the special abilities. Master form levels up by collecting drive orbs, which means you have to grind each of them in a different way, which that's really nice, because, you know, you don't want to, if you have to grind, you don't want to grind in the same way always. What's not so nice is because they're all like so specific in the way you have to level them up, it's kind of hard to get them to level up naturally. You kind of have to grind. I don't find that's true with Valor form so much, or Wisdom, but you end up just grinding them because it's easier that way. Another thing I'll talk about with drive forms is Limit has been added to Final Mix, and you know, it's really overpowered. I think it's way too overpowered. Like, it's pretty easy to, like, just limit form bosses to death that you shouldn't be able to. Like, I did that to the Roxas battle, which, can I show that here? Like, I really struggled with Roxas. Like, you know, here I died 26 times. And, this is actually one of my favorite battles in the game, though. But it's really hard for the time you do it. I hate this. Let's talk about this real quick. So here Roxas does this attack. Here it is. See, it changed my command things. I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen. It changed my command thing to question marks. And I'm like, uh-oh, what's going to happen here? The first time you see this is stupid. Because you're like, huh? And then you get to quickly, like within 2 seconds, you get to find the one that presses the end and go to it real quick. But nothing in the game ever prepares you for something like this. It just, like, happens. And so, the first time you see it, it's just kind of, are you serious? There's a few things like that in this game, too. Anyway, so, like, here in this battle, you know, I use Cure, I go into limit form, and I just Sonic Rave him to death. And look how much damage it does, it's insane. And you're, like, pretty much invincible during it. Like, I think it's a big mistake. And plus with MP Rage, you know, it does take like half your MP, but as you get hit, you increase your MP. So, like, this killed him. I struggled so much trying to do the fight the normal way. But then I just, like, stumbled upon that little method. And I definitely think it's a little bit risky. I mean, I definitely think it's a little bit too hard, or too easy. After you use that ability, it seems a little cheap to me. But it's still a pretty epic battle. Okay. So yeah, and definitely, you know, you're not... It's the only thing that Sora can do whenever he's without Donald or Goofy. Which means that... Or limit form. It's the only drive form you have without Donald or Goofy. Which means that any original battles that was just solo Sora is kind of now, unintentionally, you have an extra cure now. Because limit form exists. Although also, in the Coliseum, it's nice that you don't have, you can't use drive. When you first get there in the game, it's kind of annoying, especially because that's when you're just learning how to use it. So I don't know why they chose that. I wish it was just the Coliseum battles. But, whatever. Man. Okay, let's go to goals. So, here's the idea. Enemies with different goals. In Kingdom Hearts 1, there's pretty much just one goal in the whole game. Kill all the Heartless. Kill all the Heartless that are in the current battle. And what did that mean? That means you basically end up in this situation where every battle has the same goal. So the way they like mix up gameplay is by... not so much, you know. That's why it ends up being just Sora is like hack and slashing his way through. In Kingdom Hearts 2, they add different goals a lot. A lot of things are time-based. A lot of things are, you know, like, I was just showing you that one battle. Actually, this is a good example, too. In this battle, you know, you get this guy down, and now you have to break open these. I don't know how you're supposed to know that, but it's interesting. And then you use a limit here to attack. That's not the... Yeah, you use this limit to attack him like this. And, you know, it's something different than just attacking. So it's nice to have a little change. And that's something to just add variety in the game. Again, it's also something that could be a double-edged sword. And it's not always great. Like, in the Luxord battle, you have this, like, whole card, or you have this whole, like, time limit thing. You're trying to, like, get each other's time down. And that's where, you know, it's an okay battle, but it's just kind of strange. because it's full of little mini games and puzzles you've never seen before, using that thing I was just talking about with the Roxas battle, where it changes your attack menu and stuff. I don't like that so much. But still, it's welcome to have different goals. And the other one I was talking about was this battle. It's a pretty good battle. Like, you run into the situation where, you know, he drops these coins, he gets these coins out of the chest, and it makes him immortal. So you can't kill him. So now you have to get the coins out of him, put them in the chest, and then, you know, he has phases where he's immune to magic versus immune to physical attacks. And so that means that gives the player incentives to use magic, because a lot of things you find in Kingdom Hearts 1 is players don't have incentives to use magic. Everyone's just vulnerable to attack, there's no bonus goals. Here there's also goals within battle too, like getting your drive gauge up and stuff, and leveling those up. You know, another example is from this same world too. Like, I think Port Royal has really interesting gameplay. Let's see if I can find an example. You know, here, you know, you're attacking enemies on the ship, and you can only hurt enemies while they're in the light, the moonlight. Which, it's story gameplay integration, because that's how it is, you know, kind of like, that's how it is in Pirates of the Caribbean. And so, like, it really, like, makes the environment matter here. So now, like, this adds a goal to the player's idea, saying, I need to get the enemy in the light, or I need to, when I attack them, you know. I love this song. Which, that feeds right into reaction commands. So, this is a positive about reaction commands. I'll start with that. There are some enemies, you know, that have reaction commands that are useful to attack other ones, right? A great example is just straight up here. You have these two, like, then there's Thousand Heartless War, right? And these, like, here I'm leveling up limit form a little bit, but, you know, these enemies in the air can be snagged, and that's the fastest way to do this. You know, you just snag the enemy, and then I hope I do it here in a second. Yeah. You know, you do this, and then it just, like, slaughters the Heartless. And so you actually want to keep these little guys around to make it easier to kill the rest of them. And there's a few situations like this where reaction commands help, and that gives you a different goal, again. Which, when you change your goals, or when you add optional goals for players to think about, it changes the way they play. And when you change the way they play, it adds variety to the game, and it makes it more fun. It makes players stay in flow. And this is a perfect example of it. And that's, like, where reaction commands are good. So, what about bad reaction commands? Well, let's see the first one. You know, you get the situation. Like, I'm not going to call this one bad yet, because it is the first one, but it's basically a QuickTime event, and this is, like, right around the time where QuickTime events were getting popular, 2006. You know, like, all you do here is you press triangle. You can actually, like, tap it and just wait. Like, it doesn't, like, punish you for pressing it at the wrong time. There are some reaction commands where, like, multiple of them appear, and so you have to, like, pick the right one. Like, not... So, like, it's a time-based thing. Like, first this one will appear, then this one, and then this one. And you want to get the actual second one. So you have to wait past the first one, and you don't want to wait too long to get to the third. But here, like, since you can just tap it like this, it's just kind of silly. Like, you're not... It's not a QuickTime event. Like, you know, you see what's on the screen here. It looks really cool and epic. And that's why these QuickTime events exist. To make the game feel, like, more epic. And that's, like... If there's one thing that describes Kingdom Hearts 2, and, like, the thing they were going for, is, like, they want to be cool. They make everything in the game just as cool as possible. And reaction commands are a way they facilitate that. Problem with it, though, is it takes away from the player's agency. like, okay, like that's cool and all, but I kind of wish I had a way for Roxas to do that with me, like physically controlling him, because like it's very abstracted away. You know, like I do all these, especially like those ones that are very scripted, compared to like the one I just showed you here with the snag or rising sun. You know, it's my choice when to do it, and so that makes more of sense. Like these ones are more just silly. Like reversal here is also a choice one, so I feel like there's two types of reaction commands in the game. Ones that are like scripted that you have to do, or like it starts from a scene or something, and then others that's like in the middle of battle, you choose when to do it, and it could help you or not based on when you do it. And the in-battle ones tend to be good. Although you might consider like some enemies, like it's an enemy by enemy case. Since a lot of enemies have different, or every enemy, not all of them have reaction commands, but some of them that do, they're all different. So, you know, some of them are useful, some of them are not good. Like I think reversal, reversal's good-ish. Like it's an easy enemy in the game. Like this one, I hate this. I wish they just did this once in the battle. You know, like the first time you see it, it's very, ooh, it's epic. But then the second time, you're just like, okay. But I guess if you didn't do it right the first time, maybe they should give you another chance to see the epicness of it. Anyway, that's really all I have to say. Like, I don't think they're a horrible thing. You know, a lot of people think they hate reaction commands. You know, I think especially for the time it came out, you know, it was pretty innovative. And it definitely helps make the game more epic and cool. Although, you know, it does take away the player agency. It makes you feel like, okay, yeah, this is cool and all, but I'm not the one doing it. Okay. I can't believe I talked for 5 minutes about that. So, Keyblade Abilities. I just want to talk about this real quick. I just had that screen up. But, so in Kingdom Hearts 1, you were left to kind of like guess what Keyblade's abilities would do. Like they just kind of told you. Like vague descriptions. Here it is. So, but in Kingdom Hearts 2, every Keyblade has its own unique, not unique, but it has its own ability here. You know, like we know Circle of Life has MP Haste. Photon Debugger has Thunder Boost. Okay. You get the idea. So, in the first Kingdom Hearts, it was a very like linear progression. Technically it wasn't, but it seemed like that. You know, most of the differences was just, okay, it's a stronger Keyblade, stronger Keyblade. They did have special abilities, but it was more hidden and like obtuse as what they actually did. So you really had to like know the game to understand it. Whereas in this game, you know, it really spells out what it does. Ah, it gives you MP Haste. That could be useful. Oh, it gives you Thunder Boost. That might be useful if enemies are weak to Thunder. You know, that kind of idea. So this is just a, I know, it's just a great idea for like building a more horizontal progression and making you giving the players more interesting decisions. Not only that, but the strength and magic cap is a lot smaller. Like the difference between the Kingdom Key in Kingdom Hearts 1 and the Ultimate Weapon was like, I don't know, 10 or 13 attack. Whereas here, the difference is like 7, 8, something like that. Don't quote me on that. But in general, it's not too big of a difference. So you can definitely change up the ability to suit your need, which is just another great, interesting decision you can have. I can't believe the last thing I want to talk about is synthesis. So, synthesis. All I wanted to say, I don't even know if I can easily find me doing synthesis anywhere just to show you. I doubt it. But the idea is, you know, it's all like Kingdom Hearts 1 synthesis, but we have some nice things. One is that you get lucky on critical mode, so it's easier to drop items. 2, you have some interesting decisions. There's these 2 gems. I forget what they're called. But Moogles have Moogle levels, and based on what you synthesize, you'll increase the Moogle level. And one of the items doubles the amount of experience you'll get by creating an item. And so you have to basically choose, well, which item do I want to use this one on? You know, should I wait to use it later? Should I use it now? Should I use it for this item? Well, maybe if my Moogle's about to level up quick, I can just use it now so I can get that level up to happen. Interesting. The other one is one that halves the amount of materials that's required to form it, which is actually what you need to use for the ultimate weapon, which makes sense, I guess. But, you know, it's also nice to think about that because you think, okay, when should I use it? So that's just the nice thing about the synthesis. You know, it's not like Kingdom Hearts 1, I would definitely just wait till the end of the game to do all the synthesis. Because it's just like making a list of things. Kingdom Hearts 2, it's more like, I can do it as I go because I have Lucky Lucky from the beginning in critical mode. And, you know, because it's just a little bit more fun to level it up. And you do get rewards from it pretty easily. So, phew, that's Kingdom Hearts 2 in a nutshell. Like, that's what I wanted to focus on. Like, honestly, you know, I'll just say, wrap up. So, I mean, really, I love Kingdom Hearts 2. It's one of my favorite games. And it's still fun to play. You know, this time around, I honestly didn't like it as much as I did last time. I think... But, you know, definitely near the end of the game, I was starting to like it a lot. And one thing I always love doing in Kingdom Hearts 2 is to, like, finding the organization members. And I love the final mix update, which actually gave you the ability to fight every organization member. Like, that was just something I always dreamed of as a kid. And so the fact that they actually added it and I could never play it was always disappointing. And so definitely the PS3 and 4 version, it was great to be able to do that. And I can't wait to see how Kingdom Hearts 3 improves on the battle system formula, if it does. Like, one thing about Kingdom Hearts 2 is that the controls are very tight, and they give Sora a lot of control. And that is a concern going into Kingdom Hearts 2, or 3, because I know in point 2, the controls weren't so nice, weren't so fluid. You know, animations tended to take a while, wasn't as responsive. So hopefully they don't repeat those flaws in Kingdom Hearts 3, because, you know, in Kingdom Hearts 2 they had it nailed down. And that's why, like, speedrunners definitely prefer Kingdom Hearts 2 over any other game in the series. You know, it's not as clunky as Kingdom Hearts 1, and you have a lot of control over Sora. And, like, you know, when you die, it genuinely feels like your fault, usually. Which, you know, I died, like, probably 100, 150 times in this game, in critical. So, it's good. Well... That's pretty much all I want to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and end this. So, peace out. Oh, and also, Hawaiian Shirt Friday!